Here's the cold, hard truth. If you want your podcast to be successful, you need to make sure you're optimizing it for search. What can you do to make this happen? Stay tuned. We've got you covered. What is SEO? SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. It's the steps you take to optimize your website or content so it ranks higher in search engine results pages, SERPs. The higher your content ranks in SERPs, the likelier people are to find and listen to your podcast. That's why SEO is so important for podcasters. There are a number of different factors that go into SEO, but some of the most important ones for podcasts include your choice of keywords, metadata, and content. There are a number of other factors that go into SEO, but these are some of the most important ones for podcasts. Boosting your reach. The first step in any SEO strategy is keyword research. You need to find the right keywords to target so that your podcast can be found by potential listeners. Next, optimize your metadata. Metadata is the information that appears in SERPs alongside your content. This includes your title, description, and keywords. When writing your metadata, be sure to include relevant keywords so people know what your podcast is about. Your title and description are important because they're what people will see before they decide to click on your podcast. Once you've got the metadata sorted, focus on optimizing your actual podcast episodes. This means including relevant keywords throughout the episode so that search engines can properly index your content. Crucial to your podcast SEO efforts is creating a website for your podcast. Here, you can control everything from the design to the content, and you can even include additional features like a blog or forum. Your website will be your podcast's home. Having a URL dedicated to your podcast helps your SEO efforts exponentially. Plus, it gives you a place to point people to when you're mentioned on other websites or social media platforms. On your website, create a page or blog post for each episode of your podcast. Create relevant keywords for the overall podcast as well as the specific episode in the blog post. Also, make sure there's a link to the podcast right then and there and a way for people to subscribe to catch future episodes. After you've got all that set up, focus on getting your podcast distributed to directories. Also, don't skimp on things such as advertising, sharing on social media, and keeping track of things via analytics. Oversaturated? Think again. Wondering if it makes sense to start a brand new podcast now? After all, there are so many out there. The answer is that it depends on your niche. The key is to find a niche that you're passionate about and that hasn't been done to death. There are still plenty of opportunities for new podcasts if you can find the right niche. And if you really want to start a podcast in general categories, the key is to build your community. Having an engaged community of loyal fans is more important than the number of downloads you get in the beginning. If you can build a community of passionate listeners, then you'll be successful no matter what niche you're in. If you need help with your podcast SEO or any other aspect of podcasting, contact us today. Our team of experts can help you launch and grow your show.